After 50, most people start to feel like their body is betraying them. The meals that once gave energy now bring fatigue. The workouts that used to tighten the waist barely make a difference. And somehow, every year seems to carve a little less power out of the same daily routine. What's really happening isn't failure. It's metabolic drift, a slow rewiring of your body's fuel system. Your cells aren't broken, they're just stuck in survival mode. This episode isn't about dieting or pushing harder. It's about rebuilding communication between your brain, your hormones, and your cells. Because when those systems speak clearly again, your body remembers how to thrive. By the end of this video, you'll know the invisible shifts that cause metabolic slowdown after 50, how to retrain your energy system in just minutes a day, and the simple pattern that rebuilds balance without restriction. Let's begin. The silent shift. The slowdown doesn't start in your stomach, it starts in your brain. Specifically, in your hypothalamus, your body's control tower. As we age, inflammation and stress hormones start to deafen the hypothalamus. It stops listening to signals from your thyroid, adrenals, and muscles. So when you eat or rest, the system can't adjust properly. It underresponds to hunger, overstores fat, and lowers temperature to conserve energy. That's why even small lifestyle chaos, skipped meals, poor sleep, or late-night screens sends false alarms. Your metabolism slows to protect you, not punish you. But there's good news. Those same signals can be retrained. The hypothalamus is plastic. It can relearn how to interpret energy flow. The key? The answer is rhythm. Regularity is metabolic language. Wake, move, eat, and rest on a schedule. And your brain begins to predict fuel flow again. That single act of predictability can boost resting metabolism by up to 10%. The first repair step isn't about what you eat. It's about when and how you eat. The body can't burn efficiently in chaos. It can only heal in rhythm. Like and subscribe to the channel so we can benefit you by creating more great content with you in mind. And as a thank you, download this video's free guide from the link in the description below. The hormonal signals of balance. 3 hormones form the triangle of metabolic balance: insulin, cortisol, and thyroid hormone. When one drifts off course, the others follow. Insulin regulates blood sugar, cortisol manages stress and inflammation, and thyroid governs metabolic speed. After 50, chronic tension, late-night eating, and under-recovery scramble their timing. It's not that these hormones vanish, they fall out of sync. Your cells stop hearing insulin's whisper, so sugar lingers in your bloodstream. Cortisol stays high, keeping you alert when you should be resting. And your thyroid quietly turns the metabolic dial down to conserve power. But when you reintroduce calm, these hormones begin to listen again. When you stay locked in stress metabolism, the body prioritizes survival over optimization. Blood sugar remains elevated to fuel an emergency that never ends. That's why people can feel exhausted yet wired at the same time. The nervous system is pressing the accelerator and the brake together. To restore hormonal harmony, the body first needs proof of safety. That comes from slow breathing, consistent sleep, and steady hydration. Each of these tells the brain, "We're safe. You can lower the alarm." Then introduce what researchers call metabolic nudges. These are tiny, predictable stressors that reset responsiveness, like short bursts of walking after meals, alternating hot and cold exposure, or light resistance training. When done consistently, they retrain your cells to respond again. Over weeks, insulin sensitivity improves, cortisol finds its natural rhythm, and thyroid output increases subtly but meaningfully. This is the real metabolic rebuild, not forcing your system, but reminding it how to function. Because your body's default state is balance. It's just waiting for the right rhythm to return. The fuel switch. Most people over 50 rely almost entirely on one fuel, glucose. But your body was designed with two engines, one for quick energy, sugar, and one for endurance, fat. When the second one shuts down, fatigue follows. You don't need to starve yourself to flip the switch, just retrain your mitochondria. Every few hours, allow small periods between meals where your body isn't digesting. Even 2 hours helps. During that time, mitochondria start burning stored fat instead of demanding more sugar. Add gentle movement, slow walks, stretches, or chores. These small moments during fasting windows magnify fat burning efficiency. But here's the secret. Fat burning isn't just about energy, it's about resilience. When your body learns to shift between sugar and fat smoothly, it creates metabolic flexibility. That flexibility protects your brain, stabilizes mood, and prevents midday crashes. Studies show that even 10 minutes of low-intensity movement after a meal can double glucose uptake into muscle. That means less sugar floating in your blood and more being used where it matters. Pair that with hydration and deep breathing, and you turn your body into an oxygen-rich environment. Oxygen is the spark that allows fat to burn cleanly without the inflammatory residue sugar often leaves behind. And here's the beautiful part. This doesn't just affect your waistline. It rejuvenates your mitochondria, the literal batteries of your cells. When you start using both fuel systems again, those tiny powerhouses multiply. That's why people who retrain their metabolism report clearer thinking, steadier emotions, and even warmer hands and feet. The fog triggers you can fix. Brain fog is often the first warning sign of metabolic fatigue. It's not just about the brain, it's about energy distribution. When your cells stop producing enough ATP, focus disappears. What causes that drop? Dehydration, inflammation, and poor circulation. When blood flow slows, oxygen and nutrients don't reach neurons efficiently. You can fix that, and the changes are immediate. Drink mineralized water, a pinch of sea salt, and lemon. Stretch or move every hour. And reduce ultra-processed foods that steal magnesium and B vitamins, your brain's spark plugs. But there's another layer, emotional clutter. Chronic multitasking keeps cortisol active, which reroutes blood away from the brain's higher centers. That's why stress makes you forget names or misplace keys. Try the 60-second reset. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This simple pattern re-oxygenates the prefrontal cortex, your decision-making center. And remember, focus follows flow. If your environment constantly divides attention, the brain learns distraction as its default state. Silence, natural light, and brief breaks tell your nervous system it can switch from reaction to reflection. Even gratitude helps. MRI scans show that expressing gratitude increases activity in the hippocampus, the same region damaged by chronic stress. That means calm and clarity literally share the same neural real estate. Every small act that slows you down, sipping tea, breathing, stretching, gives your neurons more oxygen and time to synchronize. Over time, that's what clears the fog permanently. The Daily Rebuild Plan. Rebuilding metabolism doesn't mean overhauling your life. It means upgrading your habits. In the morning, hydrate before caffeine. Stretch or move lightly to wake up your lymphatic system. Eat within an hour to regulate cortisol and blood sugar. At midday, eat your main meal when digestion is strongest. Move afterward, even briefly, to aid glucose control. Keep your posture tall to enhance circulation. In the evening, finish eating at least 2 hours before bed. Dim the lights, breathe deeply, and focus on slow exhalations. Think of this routine as metabolic rhythm training. Every repeated cue tells your hormones when to rise, when to rest, and when to repair. Light exposure in the morning anchors cortisol peaks to daylight, giving you natural energy. Avoiding bright screens at night lets melatonin do its work, reducing inflammation and improving fat oxidation during sleep. Even your meals can reinforce this. Start with protein-rich foods for breakfast: eggs, Greek yogurt, or plant protein. Protein stabilizes blood sugar and keeps insulin controlled. For dinner, lighter meals rich in fiber and healthy fats send the signal, slow down and restore. When repeated daily, this rhythm becomes self-sustaining. Your body stops reacting and starts anticipating, the true hallmark of metabolic health. The mind-metabolism link. Finally, we have to talk about identity. Most people over 50 still see energy as youth, something lost. But biology tells a different story. Energy is memory. Your cells remember what it feels like to move freely, breathe deeply, and feel capable. When you act in alignment with that memory, when you move, eat, and rest like someone training for vitality, your physiology follows suit. Meditation, visualization, even affirmations, these aren't abstract. They shape hormonal output, reduce inflammation, and reset cellular tone. The return to rhythm. You can't out-supplement or out-hack rhythm. Your body has been communicating this whole time: fatigue, fog, cravings, all gentle nudges saying, we've drifted from balance. But once you rebuild consistency, the conversation changes. You'll notice meals lasting longer, energy lasting deeper, and sleep restoring faster. This is the power of the metabolic rebuild, not chasing youth, but reclaiming rhythm. So as you end this episode, take one small step. Move, breathe, or drink water, and whisper to your body, I'm listening again. Because once you do, it will answer.